thought you were going to do 3, 2, 1.
It doesn't give me that.
Yeah, okay, I feel you. All right, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Peace and greetings to the 12 tribes of Israel that are scattered abroad, as it says in the book of James. And Shaul said it, right, to the Yahudim, then to the nations. So peace and greetings, salutations to all of those of the 12 tribes that are scattered. Peace and salutations to all those who have been rejoined to a better way through Mashiach, through the Messiah, who made a way. Without him, we do not have a way. Okay? Do not be deceived. All right? We cannot work our way into something that is spiritual. There has to be a way made for us. And Yahshua has made a way. He's made a way for the tribes of Israel. He's made a way for those who have joined themselves to the Messiah or to Christ. And as we always say, last but not least, to the poor, to the brokenhearted, to the poor-spirited, to those who are incarcerated, those who are on drugs, can't get off crack, can't quit sniffing up their nose, got meth out in the country, in the poor white community. We got all kind of stuff going. We got people out there on the getting pimped or hoes or whatever. The word is for you to pull you out. As we always say, if you want it, you gotta want it. Years and years of coaching and still instructing. You can't help the helpless now. Just can't. But anyway, we about to get this thing started. Something was on my mind. All the children here today. And I try to say it a lot. We got a lot of children in here. Because, we got parents in here. All right, we got some grandparents in here. And that, brother, we're going to go to work early. Go ahead and get me, get Tobit out of your apocrypha, brother. Go on and pull out that other dagger. We're going to go to the 14th chapter. Start around the 8th verse. And every time we have children in here, when it comes to the word of Yah, that it might not happen in your day, but that don't mean it ain't going to happen. It might be in your child's day. We got babies in here, young children in here. It might not be in their day. They might be old. They might have grandchildren. But the word will always come to pass. Go ahead, brother. Start in verse 8 and just read all the way through the end of that chapter.
And now, my son, depart out of Nineveh, because that those things which the prophet Jonas spake.
That who said?
Jonas.
Okay.
Shall surely come to pass. But keep thou the law and the commandments.
Keep the what?
Thou thy law and the commandments. And show thyself merciful and just, that it may go well with thee.
And do what?
Show thyself merciful and just.
So act right.
Yes.
Have good behavior. Love your neighbor. Treat people with kind. Even if you in captivity. Even if you're in somebody else's foreign land, you still got to act right. So it'll go well with you. Go ahead, brother.
And bury me decently, and thy mother with me.
But
tarry no longer at Nineveh. Remember, my son, how Ammon handled Acharius, that brought him up, how out of the light he brought him into darkness, and how he rewarded him again. Yet Acharius was saved, but the old other had his reward, for he went down into darkness. Manasseh gave alms and escaped the snares of death which they had set for him. But Ammon fell into the snare and perished. Wherefore now, my son, consider what alms doeth, and how righteousness doth deliver.
Consider what?
Consider what alms doeth, and how righteousness doth deliver.
So we still talking about, so he on his deathbed. He giving his sons his last word. He said, I'm a son for you. Live right. Be a good citizen. Won't matter where you at. Be a good person. Go ahead.
When he had said these things, he gave up the ghost.
He did what?
He gave up the ghost.
So literally his last breath was instructions to the son to be a good man. Stand on your own 2 feet. Do justice. Walk humbly. Love thy neighbor. Go ahead.
In the bed, being 180 and 50 years old, and he buried him honorably. And when Anna, his mother, was dead, he buried her with his father.
Mm-hmm.
But Tobias departed with his wife and children to Ecbatana,
Mm-hmm.
to Regil, his father-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
where he became old with honor.
Where he became what?
He became old with honor.
So he done went through all that stuff in life. His daddy done went through all that stuff. He done went through all that stuff. His daddy dead. Now he's what?
He's dead with honor.
Now, well, I'm saying now he's old.
He's old with honor.
Now he's an older man. Now he got kids and grandkids. Go ahead.
And he buried his father and mother-in-law honorably, and he inherited their substance, and his father Tobias.
Uh-huh.
And he died at Ecbatana in Media,
Mm-hmm.
being 120 years old.
Uh-huh.
But before he died, he heard of the destruction of Nineveh.
He heard of what?
He heard of the destruction of Nineveh.
And which prophet gave that word?
Jonah.
So now the word done came to pass. And look how long it's been. But the word came to pass. The daddy gone. The mama gone. He on his way out the door. And then all of a sudden, the word hit. So we're going to assume they live righteously. I pass the word down to my son, to his son, to his son, to his son. They say, man, what great-granddaddy said, we see it. Go ahead and finish up if you ain't done.
Which was taken by Nebuchadnezzar and Osiris, and before his death, he rejoiced over Nineveh.
Thank you, brother. So, we got so many children here today, and we just got to always keep in mind that the word, you don't know. You just know it's going to happen. Don't know when. You just know it is. And if it don't happen in my day, it'll happen in their day. If it don't happen in their day, then it'll be their son's day. If not their son's day, then the son's day. But there will be a day when the word comes to pass. And all we can do is be good examples as parents, be good examples to our families, to our communities, job place, wherever we at, and leave that legacy behind. And we hope that our children will pick up where we left off and keep going. But I was just thinking about that. That's not what we're talking about today. So today, 21st century discernment. Okay, that's for us today. 21st century discernment. The outer or inner man. Outer or inner man. My bad, camera. Got some.
Quicker.
Something that is going to hurt the body. When I'm saying the body, I just mean I'm talking about all of the Sabbatarian circle. Messianic, Israelite, whatever else. Whatever falls in there. Discernment. You gotta have discernment. Okay? No, okay, my bad. So I thought I was gonna have a visitor today who is not, understanding. So I was going to re-say some Hebrew stuff, not to flip her out. So, but she ain't here today, so it's okay. But I was considerate. We gotta be considerate. All right, when we, people coming from Sunday to over here to explain stuff to them, because it's one thing to be out there on Shabbat under the prayer tent praying, folks is crying and the Ruach is moving. But it's another thing when somebody them to come and to hear the word. For some reason, it's harder for people to hear the word. People are receptive a lot of times to the Spirit when it comes to the word. Something popped up today. Something happened. So, the word. Gotta have the word. Gotta have the word. 1 Corinthians 12. 4th chapter. But if she did come, I was going to have it say, if you hear her say anything like this, it's okay. Don't flip out. Nobody going to put no spell on you. So ain't got no voodoo going on or nothing, no hexes. It's just Hebrew, or what we view as Hebrew. Okay, we don't really do sacred name stuff, and this is the exact way, because honestly, I wasn't there. I ain't no witness. So everybody, a lot of different people teach certain different ways on Hebrew and how to pronounce it, and that's fine. It's great for sitting at a table, drinking coffee, talking about it, throwing out different ideas. But when it's all said and done, we weren't there. But I do know what the most I want to know. When Yahshua come up, what's your behavior like? Are you going to be found worthy to stand in front of the Son of Man? Yes or no? See, if we take stuff like that more seriously in life, make it a yes or no. You going to do right? Yes or no? You going to come to your job and work as hard as you can? Yes or no? You going to go to school and do the best you can? Yes or no? So we have to apply that when it comes to Yahshua. Yes or no? Will you be able to stand? Yes or no? I don't want to hear no, man, you know my past and my mama going upside my head. Yes or no? All right, 1 Corinthians 12, verse 4, and it reads, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administration, but the same Lord, same Master. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same Elohim which worketh in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning the spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, and to another the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is Mashiach. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, being echad. Whether we be Yehudim or the nations, whether we be bond or free, and have been made all to drink into one Spirit, for the body is not one member, but many. Many. So many, can't even put a number on it. That was 1 Corinthians 12, 4 through 14. So when we look at that, we realize that there are a lot of talents. There are a lot of things that Yah has put within people. So one person might have a word of wisdom. Someone might have healing. Someone might be able to discern some things. Some might be able to interpret things. So everybody has something, and the point is to make it all come together like a team. I got a shooter. Got a ball handler. Got a defender. I got somebody who can jump real high. Got somebody who's really fast. I got a hustle person. I got a coach. Got a manager. Statistician. Got an analytic team. So you put all this stuff together to have a great team. So all these gifts, all these things guys put within people. Here's the problem. It's buried under your flesh. It's buried under there. And you got to do some deep digging to pull it out. Because he put it there. So all these abilities and talents and gifts got to all come together to make one. I was at work a couple weeks ago, and I had a client who she had a open heart bypass. That open heart bypass surgery, and we had prayed and stuff, and she's getting back to exercising and working out. And we was at work one day, and her husband wasn't there. So usually they look. I call them tag team champs. They come in and work out. They're sweet. Y'all come in, work out together, do y'all thing. But he was working. She came by herself, and she just began to talk about how she was brought up. She got talking about the scriptures, and I'm just listening. And Sam just listening. She was talking about the scriptures, and she said, you know, people want to hear the truth. Some people shouldn't be talking about the Bible if they don't know the Bible. Oh, Ms. GP, I feel that you own it, ain't you? And she got to just get deep. I'm just listening. Because I had ears to hear. I'm just listening. I ain't interjecting nothing. You just talk. I'm just listening. And she was talking about dreams and things she's had in her eyes. And how she's seen ghosts. How she's heard things in a room and nobody else heard. And we just looked in the book, and there was what? The interpretation of tongues. I think we go down the chapter, it talks about the ears and the eyes. Point being is that I know, she's Sunday and so on and so forth. When we think about things that Yah is putting a lot of people, and they're stuck off in other stuff, whether it's deep in Christianity, deep in Islam, deep in this, deep in that. I'm my own God, I'm commit, whatever. You got a lot of people that got a lot of different abilities, but they're not even a part of the body. So that makes the body out of whack. All right? So we see where the adversary, where he's good at. I got so many other options for you. I got so many other things for you that people who are probably important players are playing on in a whole other league. You're supposed to be in the league. What you doing in the D League? You're supposed to be in the major league. Why are you in single A? Why are you in single A? You're supposed to be over here. But that what makes our adversary, once again, he ain't powerful. He's just real crafty. Because you believe that what you're doing is right. And I'm just listening to her. She talking about things she's seen and things she heard, and she knows she ain't crazy. And I said to myself, no, you're not crazy. You're just in a different league. You're not on the right league, not on the right team. But hey, maybe y'all open up the door again another day. But I just thought it was interesting when it comes to the body and how we got some people. I know somebody else is like that, don't we? We know somebody else is like that. Got ears of interpretation. Don't see them. Need them. And then LeBron, the Lakers fan back there, Lakers fan right there, they needed shooters, didn't they? They ain't had nobody come by to shoot. I could probably go out there and shoot better than some of them jokers. They ain't had no shooters. That's what's wrong with the team, with the body right now. There's so many people that are missing. They got the right ingredient that y'all put in them. But somebody crept in unaware. Your enemy came in there and sowed tares among them. Put something in their mind. But anyway, get back on track. So, 1 Corinthians 12, we're going to look at 10, particularly 12 and 10. To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy. To another, discerning of spirits. Discerning of spirits. To another, diverse kinds of tongues. To another, interpretation of tongues. When we look at the discerning, we look at that in Greek. My Greek ain't that good, but diakrisis. Discern is only used 3 times in the New Testament. And it's a feminine noun. We know a noun describes a person, place, thing, idea. So it's describing, distinguishing, discerning, or judging. So something that we have to be able to do is that we have to be able to distinguish, to discern, and to judge in the 21st century. So it's not like, so when we read this text, this is old. This is old. And we got to apply this to the 21st century. Okay? To the 21st century. So this word is only used a couple of times, 3 times to be exact. All right, let's look at it. Romans 14. I'm going to turn it really quick. Romans 14 and 1, and it reads, Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. Okay, that would be the Greek word that we looked at in the discern in Corinthians 12 and 10. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth, for Yah hath received him. Who art thou that judgest? Who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth, yea, he shall be holden up, for Yah is able to make him stand. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So Yah is able to make him stand. He's able to hold him up. Who are you that judges another man's servant? When it's all said and done, we're all what? Servants. We all start out as servants. And the eventual hope is to become a friend. So what he say that the servants, you only get to know so much. We said that my friends, and then when y'all talk about his friends, and friends, how many of us have friends? So you want to be a friend. Now for people that are married, in a marriage, you don't start out as your wife being your best friend. When I first got married, who your best friend? Oh man, E-Love, Big Hutch, whoop-de-whoop, so-and-so. This is my friend, my partner, this is my friends. But after years of marriage, who's your best friend? So if that's a earthly thing, if that's something on earth, now I can parallel it. Because someone, give me 1 Corinthians, sir, and 15. Let's go 1 Corinthians 15. No, start in 45. 40. It's all good. It's all good. Starting 44. 1 Corinthians 15 and 44. We're going to come back to this.
It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And so it has been written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. And the last Adam, a living, life-giving spirit.
Say it again, because you know I'm slow.
And so it has been written, the first man, Adam, became a living being.
The first man was a living being.
And the last Adam, a life-giving spirit.
And the last Adam was a what?
A life-giving spirit.
A life-giving. So who am I supposed to be really becoming echad with? The first man or the second man? The second man. Go ahead, keep reading.
The spiritual, however, was not first. But
the what?
The spiritual, however, was not first. But the natural. And afterward the spiritual. The first man was of the earth.
The first man was what?
Earth. Earthly. The second man is the master from heaven.
He's from where?
The master from heaven. Okay,
now who is supposed to get attached to? The first man and the second man.
Second.
Now right now, you can't help but be attached to this flesh, Bubba. You can't help but be attached to the first man because you are walking around in a body of flesh. Everybody's attached to Adam. But the end game, I ain't talking about Avengers. The end game is for you to become like the second man. That's the ultimate end game. Is for us to be like him. And where is he from?
Heaven.
So, before I got married, first of marriage, he loved Big Hutch, them was my best friends. But over the course of time, this became best friend. So now we have died to self. We've said some things with our mouth. We've made some signs of being in the covenant. Well, we're here today. Amen. We're here today, ain't we? So then we are saying, hey, we acknowledge your Shabbat. Because you didn't make it. You made it so that I could have a chance to rest and to become one with you.
Hallelujah.
You made this for me.
Yeah, it did.
So the end game, or the beginning actually, we're servants to Yahshua. Then the relationship, it grows. You get assignments. You get opportunities. You become trustworthy. And you know what? The master done, he said, you know what? I can trust that boy with this. I can trust her with this. We get a little bit closer. And then all of a sudden, you're a friend now. I don't keep nothing from you. I'm straight up. I keep it 100 with you. Then in the course of us becoming friends, the relationship gets deeper because I'm chasing him harder. Because I want to be like him, but I can't because I'm trapped. I'm trapped in this. He just read it. That this second man is a life-giving. Say it again. Read your 45 again, sir. Read that second half 45 again.
The last Adam became a life-giving spirit.
The last Adam became a life-giving spirit. So now we're so close. He said, you know what? I'm going to make it to where you live forever. So then we move into that next level, talking about being a bride of Mashiach. But I can't get there. See, the religious system has just took me, picked me up, just dropped me here at the bride. but what about being a servant? What about the servant part? What about going from servant to friend? But the system just picked you up and just put you there. That's out of order. That ain't right. So the end game is just to be like him. We have to start out being a servant. Gotta be a grinder. Gotta get your fundamentals down right. That's where Torah becomes important. Okay? It is your schoolmaster. It's your teacher. To get you to where you know how to be with him. That's it. That's it. Just to understand the love language with him. That's it. You don't come in there swinging seats and tallits and Torah scrolls. It just gets it to where I can sit at the table with him. But you can't sit at the table. You ain't no friend. You ain't even get in the house. Huh? Book talk about the outer court. Might even be able to get into the outer court. Because when we ain't right, there's an odor that comes in. Because we're supposed to be these little walking temples, right? And they're supposed to be a sweet aroma, the sacrifice of praise. Well, the opposite is stinking. The opposite is sewer water. Busted pipe, septic tank all run all over the place. Now who's going to let you in? Somebody comes knocking on your door smelling like mess. You just going to let them in? Yeah, sit on my best couch. Who's going to do that? But anyway, we're going to go back now. Have mercy. We're going to go back to Hebrews now. We read Romans, then let's go to Hebrews. Look at this other aspect of discernment. Some of these folks out here are going to have us messed up. Out here running their mouth. We don't even know what they're talking about. And don't care. Hebrews 5 and 14. This is a good one. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go up to 8. Hebrews 5 and 8. Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. See, that right there has to be something that we follow. That, yes, I must suffer. And sometimes we don't want to suffer. No, you got to suffer. You know, look, look. If you've been in the streets, you done stuff, hood stuff, gangster stuff, you got to hey, look, you got to earn your stripes.
That's right.
You go in the military, you got to earn. There's certain things you got to earn. If you're going to be on this team, you got to go through some kind of initiation.
How you do this now?
Right? You got to. What you say? You got to pay you. There's something you got to do to where I trust you. You got to earn. So when it comes to Yahshua, look, you have to suffer. There's no other way around it. Once again, the system just picked you up and just put you out of marriage. That's the problem with marriages today, because you just jumped up and just jumped in it, and you ain't really ready. So 8, though he was a son, yet learned to obedience by the things which he suffered, and being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. So we are to obey him who is a master in obedience. Because remember, he came from a heavenly place already. Right? If you just take time, just wrap your mind with it. He humbled himself so much, he said, hey, I'll be like a baby. I'll come back and be a baby. 10, called of Elohim a high priest after the order of Melchizedek, of whom we have many things to say and hard to be uttered, seeing that ye are dull of hearing. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles, bless you, of the oracles of Elohim, and are become such as have need of milk and are not of strong meat. See, this is the jumping up. I'm going to skip servitude. I'm going to skip being a friend. I'm just going to jump right here. Like, how's that possible? You're just going to start serving meat. You ain't got no teeth. You cooking meat, you serving meat, and you trying to eat meat, you ain't got no teeth. Now you got to break the meat up into a million little pieces to like Gerber food. That ain't how you eat a steak. You don't put a steak in a blender. These folks is taking the word and just put it in the blender. Try to get you a smoothie. Sorry. "13. For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness." So people can speak a good game. They might have a Hebrew aspect to their teeth. But when it comes to the word of what? Righteousness. So in all terms, once again, it's going to end up being, are you living right? Are you living right? It was the most important things that was asked in the New Testament. What must I do to be saved? They understood it saved from what? His return. Because the ones that believed and like, okay, that was the Mashiach. Wow. We messed up. Wow. He's coming back. Wow. That's all the blood and guts that the prophets talked about. Wow. What must I do to avoid that wrath? They was real quick. Peter hit him with the word and he's like, what must I do to be saved? See, that's us. Just like how we read in Tobit in that 14th chapter. He said, hey, son, look, world journal is going to come to pass. We the same boat. All the words of the prophets that have not been fulfilled will be fulfilled.
Amen.
All the war, all the blood, all the guts, sky getting cracked, that's going to happen. Verse 13 again, for everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a baby. Shaul said, I got to be a man. I stand on my own 2 feet. When I was a child, man, I acted like a child. I thought like a child. I talked like a child, ran around like a child, but now I became a man. One day Moshe said, look, I'm tired. I don't want this house no more. I'd rather be a man. If I can't be with them, I ain't going to be here. We got to be men and women. You got to be grown. Don't walk on your own 2 feet. For the 3rd time, for everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, but he a little baby. But strong meat belongs to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to what? Discern both good and evil. So in the 21st century, we got to be able to discern between good and evil, between tov and ra. Real simple. Is that a part of your game? You need it for your survival. Because you got to discern between both good and you got to know, you got to exercise, you got to train in it. Grace is having time to get it right. But at some point, grace is going to cut out. That clock going to say 0, 0, 0. Time up. And if you ain't where you need to be, it's just too late. People fantasize they just going to change at a drop of a hat. To change from one way of living, just think about just dealing with people. Them accepting your change. You ain't tell them to change. They just can't accept my change. Right. They can't wrap themselves around my life. But you don't have to do that. You ain't got to. No. I've made a change, and people can't handle that. You have to exercise in it. You have to go through the fire. So that when the real fire comes, you'll be found worthy to stand in front of the Son of Man. That's why the book tells you he's a consuming fire. He done showed you. What that king say? He said, hey man, did we throw 3 boys in that pit of fire? What I see 4 of them for? And one of them looked like the Son of Man. They just walking around talking in the fire. But for you to have this life, he's going to give you, you got to first be a servant. You got to get to where you're a friend. Right? We got to get to where we can become a bride. So that we can be with him. Because he ain't going to change now. Revelation, that man standing fire, it ain't gonna phase him none. He standing fire like this, it ain't gonna phase him not one bit. His eyes fire when he come back. No, he ain't gonna be Superman whenever he come back. That's why the New Testament, they write with such fear. And I don't mean like Wes Craven, Jason, not that kind of fear. I'm talking about like he really coming for real. But anyway, to have our senses exercised to discern both good and evil. And just keep on flowing. Verse chapter 6. Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Mashiach, let us go on to perfection. So there are some things, once we come into this way, we come into this walk, that we are to continue to grow or continue to going up the mountain. Like you don't stop. You don't have the plateau. You got to keep going. Going on to perfection, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith towards Elohim. For the doctrine of baptism and laying on of hand of resurrection of the dead and of eternal judgment. These things are basic, according to the writer of this book. I don't know how many teachers and preachers and mores you're going to find teaching and against this or fighting against this or debating over this. And the writer of this book just assumes that you know this is basic, man. This is basic. Verse 3, and this we will do if Yah permit. So if we want to grow and if we want to get to that bride status, he will get you there. You just got to be willing to go through the different trials. Right? The fiery trials that Peter talked about. You can't find anything strange. You can't run from it neither. You can't be a runner and serve Mashiach now. You can't be a runner because it's his earth and it's his body. So what you going to do? You worry about a CIA or the elite tracking you by your phone. You worry about Yahshua tracking you. That's who know where you at. That's who know your thoughts. Government don't know my thoughts now. They can track me on my phone all they want to. Yahshua said, I know where you at, know where you been, know where your mind been at. And all of it gonna gotta come to judgment.
Yes, sir.
That's why they talk so much about us just living right. That's why I just shake my head with some of you rascals. Hey, are you telling people to live right? Yes or no? Brother, give me Romans 2, 12 through 16. Shad, I know what I told you the other day, but you hide today, baby. You got 2 Chronicles 16 and 19.
So 12 through 16?
Yes, Romans 2, 12 through 16. Go ahead, brother.
For as many as sin without Torah shall also perish without Torah.
Uh-huh.
And as many as sin in the Torah shall be judged by the Torah.
Uh-huh.
For not the hearers of the Torah are righteous in the sight of Elohim, but the doers of the Torah shall be declared right.
Uh-huh.
For when nations who do not have the Torah...
For when who?
Nations who do not have the Torah...
They don't have the Torah.
Yes.
Okay.
By nature do what is in the Torah, although not having the Torah, they are a Torah to themselves.
They are what?
A Torah to themselves.
So when the nations act a certain way, because you won't know it, if they ain't going to sit there and say that they're purposely doing something, it's something from within them, and they're doing something that would deemed as righteous. Read that again, bro. Read that 14 again.
For when nations who do not have the Torah by nature do what is in the Torah, although not having the Torah, they are a Torah to themselves.
Keep going.
Who show the work of the Torah written in their hearts.
Written where?
In their hearts. Their conscience also bearing witness.
Their what?
Their conscience also bearing witness.
Pause right there. Then it written in Hebrews about the blood of Mashiach that is so potent. What can the blood of Mashiach do? It can cleanse your what? Conscience. Go ahead.
And between themselves their thoughts accusing or even excusing.
Go ahead and read 16.
In the day when Elohim shall judge the secrets.
When he shall do what?
Judge the secrets of men.
Secrets of who?
Men.
So people can have secrets and hide them from men. You can have secrets and hide them from your wife, from your mama, from your daddy, from your boss, but you can't hide them from Yah. Read that verse again.
In the day when Elohim shall judge the secrets of men. Through Yeshua Messiah.
Through who?
Through Yeshua Messiah.
So the one I'm supposed to be married to. The one I'm supposed to be a servant to. Want to be a friend to. So if you snaky, you slick, he gonna holler at you. Go ahead.
According to my good news.
Go ahead, brother. Read.
See, you are
No. You good.
Okay.
You good.
Okay.
Brother here.
What now?
Second Chronicles 16 and 19.
16 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
Last 14. Mine is stuck at 14.
In chapter 16,
Yeah, chapter 16, yep.
starts at 14.
Mm-hmm.
Who got Second Chronicles 16 and 19? Do I just misprint? Miscut?
Yeah.
Hell, man, what kind of scripture? What kind of scripture you got?
I was like,
My bad. 16 and 9.
oh, okay, 16 and 9.
No, I got some dyslexia.
Yep.
All right. For the eyes
Let's
of
go first.
for the eyes of Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth.
His eyes do what?
Run to and fro throughout the whole earth.
Throughout the whole what?
Whole earth.
Whole earth.
To shew himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him.
Who's what?
Whose heart is perfect towards them.
So whose heart is perfect? So he's searching for hearts. Now, didn't he just read in Romans? Didn't Shaul break it down? He said, look, it's some people, they ain't even got no Torah, ain't even part of their culture. It ain't part of understanding. But they do things as just by nature. It's like the law written on their heart. So I wonder when Mr. Yahuwah goes searching throughout the earth, I wonder if he count down. I wonder if they on this Rolodex too. I wonder if he got their cell phone number in his phone. Go ahead, finish reading, brother.
Herein thou hast done foolishly. Therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars.
So the book speaks for itself. Somebody give me John 4, 23 and 24. Somebody give me John 4 and 23 and 24. Your Okanon 4 or John 4, 23 and 24.
4, 23.
Mm-hmm. I will say read it. He jumped up around where he ran off to.
But the hour is coming.
Uh-huh.
But the hour is coming, and now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
They're going to worship in what?
In spirit and truth.
So you got to have spirit and truth. There's going to be an hour or a time where you got to have spirit and truth. Go ahead.
For the Father seeks such.
For the who?
Him. For the Father seeks such.
Is that the same one that was seeking in 2 Chronicles 16 and 9, looking for a good heart? I wonder if that's the same scenario that Shaul was talking about even people who ain't even of Yisrael having a heart though, like the law and written on their heart. They do stuff they don't even know why they do. They just do it because I guess they just try to be good people. Go ahead, brother. Read.
Elohim is a spirit.
Uh-huh.
And they who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
It said must, didn't it? It didn't give us no option, did it? It didn't say, hey, it's a multiple choice, A, B, or C. It didn't say that, did it? It said must. So in order to become a bride, in order to be found worthy to stand, I got to worship in spirit and in truth. Y'all been searching for a long time. No matter if it was Chronicles time, no matter if it was Shaul time, or to show 21st century. He's still searching. He ain't stopped looking, giving us grace. You just can't find enough people. Just can't find enough hearts. On the screen, I got it for you. 1 Timothy 4, 1 and 3 says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits. Seducing spirits. So in order not to be seduced, you got to have discernment. Seducing spirits and the doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry. Give us an example. Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which Elohim hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Some of that we could point to Catholicism. They don't want certain people to marry. They got some days you can't eat fish, and I don't know, something crazy like that. But when we look at the whole, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So things people teach, things people preach, and it intensifies when? In the latter times. It's necessary that you have discernment As it said in Hebrews, that you got to have your senses exercised in discerning between what? Good and evil.
Hallelujah.
So you got to know. So the writer forewarns you. For whatsoever thing written aforetime is written for our
Learning.
through the patience and comfort of the scriptures we might have.
Hope.
So that's your hope.
Yes.
That they left that for you. So there are seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. They left that for you. So sounds good, so I thank you. And that happened to you. You cannot get that thing to pause quick enough. So get your volume on your mute phone fast enough. That all that stuff be happening to me too. Glad I ain't the only one. Hallelujah.
That's why you always turn going down.
Or look. Now, I've never said this. I know I'm off track. I've never this past week tell folks to put up their phone. That phone, look. Phone game something deep now. That mother had you like this all day. These kids, they doing something like this all day. I was like, look, what do you want to do? Be on my phone? Well, okay, beside the phone. Go to sleep. What do you want to do? What entertainment? How can we entertain you? Y'all want to be on my phone? Woo. Have mercy. Anyway, so we're in a time where there are going to be seducing spirits, doctrines of devils. And it's not just Catholic Church. It's not just Islam. We have to look from within the body, within the house, within the assembly. Because that will get people to depart from the faith. To get off of the narrow road and get to a wide road. A friend of mine, not a best friend, a friend of mine, played ball with in college. He swore up and down he a God. Next time a tornado comes through there, say peace be still. See what happens. Stand out there in the middle of the street. You know what you're going to be doing? You're like everybody else. Help! Help! Take the shelter. But that's what people's minds at. But it causes people to depart from the faith. And it intensifies in the latter time. We're going to go there today. We talked about this before in the book of Revelation. That Yah's going to unleash some things on the earth. Some bad jokers has been locked up. They've been locked up. They ain't going to let them. Y'all going to let them out. He going to pop that top. Say, y'all going to do what you got to do. Going to let them out. So, the believers got to be able to discern between good and evil. And we got to understand that it's not going to be an outer thing, but an inner thing. We just looked at 2 Chronicles 16 and 9. We looked at John 4, 20-24. And what did brother read? He read Romans. That Yah, it is so about in here.
Yeah.
But people make it swear up and down. It's about out here. Everything on the outside gonna melt.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna melt away. What's left under? What's the residue from within? That's what matters. 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. Second Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. Start at verse 1. It's hallelujah never get there.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
I'll turn fast. I ain't getting a drink. Say that fast. Second Thessalonians 2 and 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Master, Yahshua HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him. Okay? So this same one that's a bad mamma jamma is the same one that's going to gather. So he's either going to gather us to his bosom and hug us and love us, or he's going to gather us up for a great slaughter. One of the two.
Yeah.
That's it. There is no other option. There is no trying to figure things out. We're going to sit and have a counseling session. Counseling time is over. That time is over. Verse 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled neither by... So they understood this is serious.
Yes.
That he came as a lamb. He literally has come back as a raging lion. Go down there in Memphis right now and stand out there. They closed the zoo up and let all the lions out. You can't get out and all the lions run around. Tommy, yeah, we'll see you in the morning, man. You're going to be trying to find Daniel and Daniel Lions then. So Yahshua's coming to gather or to destroy. So this was serious. They had this understanding. That ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled neither by spirit nor by word nor by letter as from us as at the day of Mashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive. Let no man deceive. Let no man deceive. So you got to have discernment. You by any means, for that day shall not come until there be a falling away first, that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he is God, says in the temple of God, showing himself that he is Elohim. Remember ye not, when I was with you, I told you these things. He's like, look, I told y'all this. Do you remember? And now ye know that with what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked one be revealed, of whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy the brightness of his coming. So the power that Yah comes in is to fight the other things. That's why Yahshua comes back like this mighty warrior, because he's coming to fight other things, other entities, other Elohim, other things from the other side, freakazoids, the remnant of Jah, all the crazy stuff, all the like. Is that for real? Yeah, it's in this text. So that's what he's come back to fight. Unfortunately, if we keep reading, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of truth, that they might be saved. So I'm coming to fight other things, bigger fish to fry. But because people have received lies, they've seen signs, they've seen whatever, and now they believe that is being true. Therefore, the text says, middle of 10, because they receive not, they as in humans, people, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So the folks that was listening to Peter back in Acts said, what must we do to be saved? From what? From this. From when he come back like this. And for this cause, look what Most High going to do. For this cause, Yah shall send them a strong delusion. What that mean? They're going to believe a lie. They're going to believe the lie. So the beast and the image of the beast and the false prophet that gives power to the image of the beast, people fall amazed to the image of the beast. Not even the beast, the image of the beast. So you got R2-B2 doing a moonwalk, floating around, hovering around like Tony Stark, Iron Man, and folks are going to be amazed. This must be Yah. And books say, I'm going to let them down. I don't know if that's, well, I'm just saying. However it is, however the image, and however it plays out, people are going to be like, wow, there it is. The book says they're going to cause, God shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. You don't believe what it says in verse 12, that they all might be damned. That's in your book. We try to say, man, hear what that brother said? If you turn to minute so-and-so on Restoring the Branches, he said that. I'm reading the book. Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth. So they believed the lie. They chose to be on the other guy's team. So when he come back, he's going to identify you. Yeah. Not on your outward, but on your
inward. That's right.
So you're not a servant. You ain't a friend. You ain't no bride. So you don't work for me, you a thief. You ain't no friend, you an adversary. And you ain't no bride, you a little shake jump. You a little hooker. Selling yourself to the pious builder. That they might all be damned, who believe not in the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. That's why they write how they write. So when it comes to the people of the 21st century having discernment, that's why they write how they write. And I just wonder, like, what are folks telling people? Are are you guiding them toward how to get saved? I'm sorry, how to be saved.
Yeah.
Because when it's all said and done, he gonna pop up. And we can't be like Hezekiah. Remember when Hezekiah got sick and Yah blessed him and he got extra time to live? Remember the king of Babylon came and they wasn't like Babylon yet? Remember he showed them all the stuff, showed them all the treasure and all the jewels and all that good stuff. And the prophet said, what you do that for? He said, that's going to be the same one to come burn this place down and take it. And Hezekiah was like, but not in your day. You're like, whoo, okay, thank goodness. See, we can't be like that. We're like, well, yeah, okay, not in my day. That's gonna be in your son's day, then, or your grandson's day, or your great grandson's day. Like, do you not care? Like, what's in here? We don't look. I mean, that's what he's looking for. That's what he read in Romans 2. That's what he read in 2 Chronicles. That's what he read in John. That's what y'all looking for. So, turn to 2 Chronicles 18. So we saw, he said he's going to send a strong delusion, right? Going to make you believe a lie. Make a long story short, that you'll be damned, you'll be cursed. You're going to get this butt whooping, ain't no turning around. You're not getting out this. 2 Chronicles. Now I'm trying to find a way to put that 2 Thessalonians in there every Shabbat. No, I'm playing. 2 Chronicles. No, 2 Chronicles, that's right. 18. So when we read that, we cannot be amazed. 2 Chronicles 18 and 18. Look at something that was written aforetime. And he said, therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw Yah sitting on the throne and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand, on his left hand. And Yahweh said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he might go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spoke, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. So Yah asked him, so it's a meeting up in heaven. They around the throne, handling business. He said, it's time for Ahab to taste that sword. Who gonna get him to the battle? How we gonna get him to the battlefield? Let's show you a great leader. Great leader. He asked a question, and I'm asking now openly, my close ones, what's your opinion? That just show how good he is. He can do what he want to do. But what do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do y'all want to do? Show how good, great of a leader, a great father he is. And one spoke on this matter after another saying after that. But so you got all kinds of people. Oh, we can do this. Okay. Hey, we can do this. Okay. Hey, we can do this. Almighty, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Verse 20. Then there came out a spirit and stood before Yah and said, I will entice him. I will entice him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? You're like, okay, you broke through the crowd. Okay. Can you imagine the millions? The millions of messengers and angels. And I know. He said, wherewith? Verse 21, he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit. Lying spirit. We just read that in 2 Thessalonians. So this ain't going to be nothing new there. It's going to be something true. We see how our Father played chess. Here, look, that's one of his good chess moves. I'll put a lying word in their mouth. And then make them believe. 21. And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. The Lord said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Now therefore, behold, that Yah hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets. And the Yah has spoken evil against thee. So you done asked this man a question. Now I'm giving you an answer. This is your last chance. That's the mercy of Yah. This is your last chance. This is your last chance. You can repent and be saved. Yeah. You right there. Give me Romans 6:23 real quick. Romans 6:23.
For the wages of sin is death.
So Ahab could have heard that word and said, man, I repent. Yeah. But think about all that he had built up. That's why when we talk about, teachers and preachers on the other side, on the Sunday side, look at all they got to give up. So you can repent, you can turn and get yourself together. Read it again.
For the wages of sin is death.
See, that's how that look. This is the price you got to pay now. It's the price you got to pay. So he done heard the word. Verse 23. Then Zedekiah the son of Shenaniah came near and smote him, fired on him, Micaiah upon the cheek, and said, which way went the spirit of Yahuwah from me to speak unto thee? Think about that. He wasn't one to fire on him. They're probably holding his arms, just free lick, just bow and fire on him right there. But you won't believe it, they have somebody else too, did. Somebody got arrested for your behind. Somebody got himself up for your behind. And when he's sitting there telling the truth, you won't believe somebody rolled up on him and fired on him in the face, right there in the head, multiple times. And you won't believe that your great master, he'll say something like, hey, I told you. It was written to me.
Yes.
Whatever things happen before, they happen for your learning. So the first thing we jumped up with about being that he suffered unto obedience.
Yes.
So I might get fired on. You might get fired on. But we're worried about somebody talking about me.
Man.
I might get fired on.
Right.
So he got fired on. Y'all sure got fired on. So yeah, I should expect getting fired on. I got to suffer for this thing. The folks before him suffered. The folks after him suffered. But because of religion, I just picked up and just put you right there. Just pick me up. Just skip over everything. Just go be now you right there. You good. Just wait. But see, we just read 2 Thessalonians. Well, you'll believe a lie. You'll believe a lie now. Luke 11. No, I'm sorry. I got it for you. Don't worry about it. Luke 11. So I got to put a little notes on here because I'll be done forgot. I'll be honest with you. I got to put a note. Slide. I got a slide right here. Luke 11, 37 through 42. And as he spake, a certain Pharisee besought him to dine with him, and he went in and sat down to meat. And when the Pharisee saw it, he marveled that he had not first washed before dinner. He could not wrap. If this dude is who he's supposed to be, why ain't he washed? I mean, it's right there in your law. I mean, our law. Man's guidelines. The Lord and the Master said unto him, now do you Pharisees make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness. And the outside look good, but the inside is a sewer. I wouldn't put my enemy in there. Ye fools, did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also? So if anybody is into anatomy or understands anatomy, the inside of the body, deep, ain't it? Yeah. Put your head down, deep, ain't it? Folks back there know. Folks deal with anatomy. Your skeletal system, your muscular system, your nervous system, your circulatory system. You got all kinds of systems.
Yeah.
Your intestines, I forgot, it stretched out like 18,000 miles or something. No, well, it's something.
You need to study further for your test.
No, well, okay, look, no, I studied tripping. I ain't got no choice. It's stuff hard. But your large and small, it was ridiculous. The length, okay, it wasn't 18,000 feet, but that mother was long. It was just like, my goodness, it was miles though, but it was, anyway, the point being that the depths that Yah goes has went to make that which is within. And this is where your life at. Something go wrong in here, you can die. This is where your life at.
20 feet, baby.
In here.
That's what it said.
Not in my anatomy book. That mug, it was 20 feet wouldn't have amazed me like that. It was man, it was like, what? And it was like large intestines, small
20
intestines.
And large is 5, so 25 foot.
I don't know. Look, I got to highlight in my book. And if I'm wrong, I'll that's around fest. I don't put myself out there. Verse 41, but rather give alms of such things as ye have, and behold, all things are clean unto you. But woe unto you, Pharisees. So you got a lot of Pharisees teaching this book right now. Got a lot of Pharisees. What say about if the blind lead the blind? What your master say? And he say, you know what he said? If that second one fall in there, he didn't know any better. Bless his little heart. Somebody go get him. That's what the book said, did. Blind lead the blind, both fall in the ditch. For ye tithe mint and rue and all manner of herbs, and pass over judgment and the love of Elohim. So it kind of takes us back to our discernment between good and evil. These ought you to have done, and not to leave the other undone. So it's in our nature, because we're Adamites, we're humans, to look at things from an outward perspective. And that if my outside is straight, I'm good. And we overlook the inner things from within.
Most important.
That's the most important. Because he said, look, ye fools, did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also?
Yeah.
So it's not just because you can't see the inside. Don't mean the inside ain't important. Maybe the inside is actually more important.
Yes.
What does that say? Students, Hebrew students, what does that say?
Shaul.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Let's sneak a little quiz in there on it. All right, so Shaul, his name meant desired or asked for. Okay, desired or asked for. All right, 1 Samuel 16:7. But Adonai said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth.
Yeah.
For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord, but the Master, but the Maker, but the way looketh on the heart.
Yeah.
We read that in Romans, 2 Chronicles, John, that he's searching the inside. So the people are like, oh, we love Shaul, big old shoulders, tall brother, handsome, kingdom. And Moses said, all right, he perfect. Because he'll make a way for David. Because I know what his inside like. I know it's going to happen under pressure. I know it's going to happen when it's time to do something you suppose is a yes or no job. I know what he's going to do. He's going to create a gray area. You're supposed to do this. Yeah, but. Whenever you hear that, yeah, but I emphasize. Yeah, but I add. I thought your book said don't add nothing. Don't add or take away. But to stick to that mitzvah, stick to that command. So he was perfect. Because he made a way for David. But he said, you know what? This is what you want. This is what you're going to get. So that goes back to our 2 Thessalonians, right? It's what you want. I'm going to send you a strong delusion. You want it so bad. Because I know what's in there. I'm going to give you what you want. You want it. You go ahead and just put it in front of your face. Romans 2:28. Romans 2:28 and reads, for he is not a Yehudi, which is one outwardly. Neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. But he is a Yehudi, which is one inwardly. And circumcision is that of the heart. The sad thing is that's in your Torah. Y'all been saying that for a long time, man. been saying that for a long time, man. Circumcise your heart. Circumcise your heart. And circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Elohim. So see, people want to get happy over things that they can see and give it credit or status quo. Yah's like, I want things done from within. From within. 2 Corinthians 10. And 7. 2 Corinthians 10 and 7, and it reads, Do ye look on things after the outward appearance? If any man trust to himself that he is Mashiach, let him of himself think this again. Read that again. Do you look on things after the outward appearance? Question mark. If any man trust to himself that he is Mashiach. So if you are of Mashiach, this is important for you. Let him of himself think this again, that as he is Christ, even so are we Christ. So, I don't want to get too far. But in a conversation I had with somebody, obviously, Zeets and style, and I don't mean style in a bad way, but, you know, Zeets, fringes, etc. But if I don't have them on, can you tell that I'm a child of Elohim? Can you tell that that man, he keeps the law, statutes, and commandments? That man full of the Ruach. That woman, she honors, she a child, yeah. Can we see that, and then do we show that? This is the discernment that we got to have. 21st century. Can I identify Yah's people outside of the outward appearance? Can they identify me? Now, if I'm acting like a nut job at work, if I'm just like everybody else, then obviously no. And if I'm doing that, then I got to have some self-reflective time. I'm not what I say I am. And I have to get into some private time with Yah and do some digging. But that takes humility. So the book is like, hey, do you look on things after the outward appearance? Question mark. If any man to trust himself that he is Christ, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Christ, even so are we of Christ. 1 Peter, 3rd chapter. Brother, what time am I on? I ain't even start my time, I'm sorry. 1 Peter 3 and 3. We'll start 1, 3 and 1.
Man, it's not even really showing me.
Okay, sorry. Likewise, you wives being subject to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. While they behold your chaste conversation with fear, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning, of plaiting of the hair, wearing of gold, or of putting on apparel. But let it be the hidden man of the heart. But let it be the hidden man of the heart. But let it be the hidden man of the heart. And that which it is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. So if I'm going to wear something, may I wear meekness and a controllable spirit.
74 minutes.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Have mercy. Which is in the sight of God a great price. Matthew 23. Time flies when you're having fun. That's like 40 something, 50 something. Okay. All right, Matthew 23 and 23. Matthew 23, and it reads, Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and succumb them, and have omitted the weightier matters of the Torah. The weightier matters, judgment, mercy, and faith. Judgment, mercy, and faith. Judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought you to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, ye strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. You are a murderer, liar, thief, hustler, talking junk all the time. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, folks swear up and down what they will be like back then. Look, my mama checked me a long time ago. I was talking about something. If it was back then, I should have been hush your mouth. You don't know what you would have done back then. And say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up in the measure of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? So the outward appearance, right? The outward appearance. Look at somewhere, businessman. Good man, I'm going with a businessman. Got my suit, got my tie, my blazer, my tight, nice watch, everything. A businessman. You're a hustler. Money laundering. Setting stuff up. Fraud. Embezzlement. Huh? Ain't that look? You look like a businessman. You're pretty much a hustler. The outward appearance. Outward appearance. GQ. Outward appearance. We look at the outward appearance. We saw right there. We saw right there. Oh, hey, look at him. Look at him. Take a step further. It's 21st century now. Everybody about their culture now. No matter if you're Israelite or you're in the Kemetic science. Everybody about looking a certain way. Outward appearance. But your master said inside dead man bones. Full of extortion. You're the same dude or dudette with or without the clothes. You're the same one. I got my friends. I got my friend. Yeah, but you're a liar. You teach venom. With or without your friends. Yeah, but I got, where your heart at? Law written on your heart. Is Yahshua going to be looking at me? Now look, I get it. I like it too. I like it too. If I know this much, let me not be right. The Son of Man roll up. It's not gonna burn up. And meet with it. There's your facts. He ain't worried about all that. That'd be an inward investigation. Head wraps and fringes and zeets. I get it. I get it. But they cannot be my forefront. Like that cannot be my staple. Custom jewelry. I do that. I like it. I got it. It means nothing. Luke 21:36. Give me 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. All that stuff don't mean nothing. Koofy caps, head it's good. But that ain't gonna get me saved. That ain't not gonna get me saved now. Inside job. It's gotta be an inside job. Go ahead, brother.
Watch then at all times.
Uh-huh.
And pray that you be
And do what?
And pray.
So it's so serious, you gotta pray about this.
Pray about
This is how serious it is. You gotta watch and what?
Pray.
How many people is even watching?
Escape.
I watch the Super Bowl. I watch the finals. I watch some porn. I watch some this. I watch some that. He said, watch and pray. Keep on reading.
That you be counted worthy to
Counted
escape.
what?
Worthy.
So I gotta earn this.
Yes, sir.
I gotta earn these stripes.
Yes.
So I can earn stripes in the street. I can earn stripes on the team. But he said, for me, you gotta earn. Keep reading.
To escape all this about to take place. And to stand before the Son of
To
Adam.
do what?
To stand.
To stand up on my own 2 feet,
Yes.
10 toes down.
Yeah, all right.
I gotta stand up in front of this man. He gonna look at me and see me naked. Can't hide nothing, can't hold nothing. Think the police is shaking. He ain't got the shakedown. Let y'all sure run up on. He got everything. He gonna take you inside.
Yes.
Read it again.
Watch then at all times. And pray that you be counted worthy to escape all this about to take place. And to stand before the Son of Adam.
To stand. That's what's all gonna boil down to is, can I stand? Now, you heard some of the prophets say, like Moshe say, man, the sight of Mount Sinai, he said my inside shook. Said his inside shook.
Tremble.
We gotta be tremble. We gotta be able to stand in front of him. You gotta hold your head up.
Yes.
Look me eye to eye.
Take your medicine.
Yochanan, he in front of him. Dropped like a dead man, brother. He dropped, didn't
Yes,
he? He had to pick him up.
Come on, back up.
Stand up. So he said, y'all in y'all time, or these kids' time, or the grandkids' time, or the great-great-grandkids' time, you got to stand. Go ahead, brother.
When I was a child,
When I was a what?
when I was a
I was
child,
a little boy. Go ahead.
I spake as a child.
Uh-huh.
I understood as a child.
Uh-huh.
I thought as a child. But when I became a man,
And I became a what?
when I became a man,
He said, I'm not standing on my own 2 feet. Go ahead.
I put away childish things. For now,
Is that you on 12 now?
yeah, 12.
Go ahead and read 12 too.
For now we see through a glass,
Uh-huh.
darkly, but then face to face.
Uh-huh.
Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known.
Got to stand up now. I don't know what else to say. Got to stand up and stand on our own 2 feet. And there's a day coming. We got to stand. He said he investigated. Look, this little cartoon cute. Look, he said I ain't coming back cute no more. I'm not coming back cute. So he got to see, is there some light in you? Is there some light in you? You got to find the light. Got to be some light in us. Got to be some light. Look here. It's got to be his light now.
It's just,
It's got to be his light. Okay? This is the only light in the temple. Tabernacle in the wilderness. When they built the temple, there your light. There's got to be a light in you now. It's got to be his light. Okay? It's got to be his light. All right? Yeshayahu, Isaiah 11:2. Let the ruach of Yahweh shall rest upon him, and the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. The spirit of the Lord, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and fear. How many is that? 7. He saw 4. Yeah, I know. But I know. So when we go back, how many branches you got? So we got the Ruach of Yahweh. You got to have the spirit of wisdom and what? Understanding. Y'all see my little mouse? My little arrow thing? Y'all see it? Okay. So you got the spirit of Yah. Then you got to have the spirit of what? Wisdom and what? Understanding. Then you got to have the spirit of what? Counsel. And what goes with counsel? Might. So look, you want to be mighty, you got to have. So if you got to go to war, if you got to go to spiritual war, you got to be a man, stand on your own 2 feet. You know what you need? Counsel. They one of the greatest warriors, military generals of all time. They get on the road serving people, serving him. He gets counsel. He says, when do I attack? Now. What? You on the road, man. You on the Great Willis Street. What you asking y'all for? Y'all said, when the bullberry bush get when the bush get, that's when you go. So you want to be mighty, you got to have counsel. Don't matter what it is. You want to be mighty, you got to have counsel. Then there was what? The fear and what? Knowledge. So this light, or the ruach, and the attributes of it, got to be found in it. There just can't be any light now. Ain't talking no Duracell flashlight. I don't care how long the Energizer Bunny floating around in your stomach. That ain't not what you're looking for. You gotta have His light. The Spirit of Yah with the wisdom and understanding, right? The Chachumah. The Chachumah. So what's in English? I got highlighted for you, and match up the colors. Anyway, so we gotta have the Chachumah, the Uvena, right? The Ruach of Azah, the Uguvara, right? The might, being mighty like Gideon. Right? The Ruach of the At, right? And then Vi'ra'at, right? The fear, the knowledge. These are things that we must have. I'm going to read Job 32. If you have a Tanakh, go ahead and open the Tanakh. The Tanakh reads this a whole lot better. Job 32, chapter 1. I need to find can some of you tech people find me the Tanakh on a, I can copy and paste it.
Said Job 32?
Yeah, Job 32. You know, like how you got
I got it
certain.
downloaded on my computer,
You got it.
don't you?
Yeah, just you computer, you smart people. Just help me. Just help me. Why click it to knock so I can paste it and put it on here. I don't know how to do it. But Job 32 and 1, these three men responded to Job, for they saw that he was righteous in his own eyes. The wrath of Elihu, son of Barkel, the Buzite, the family of Ram, flared up. His wrath flared up against Job for judging himself more righteous than God. When his wrath flared up against his three friends because they had not found a proper response and had condemned Job, Elihu waited before addressing Job, for they were older in years than he. But when Elihu saw that there was no response in the mouths of the three men, his wrath flared. Elihu, son of Barkel, the Buzite, then spoke up and said, I am young in years, and ye are elderly. Therefore I trembled and feared to express my opinion to you. I had thought, let days speak out, let abundant years teach wisdom. But in truth, it is a spirit in man. Where? In man. And it is the soul from the Almighty that gives them what? Understanding. It is not that great men are always wise, or that elders understand justice. Therefore I say, hear me. I too will express my opinion. Behold, I have waited for your words. I gave ear to your wisdom, until you had searched for proper words. I contemplated you, and behold, there was one to clarify for Job, no one among to refute his statements. Do not say we have found wisdom, for God, not man, has smitten him. He did not direct his words to me, but I would not have answered him with your statements. They have become confounded and do not speak up anymore. Words have escaped them. So I waited, for they did not speak. They stood still, did not respond anymore. I too will speak up my portion. I too will express my opinion. For I am filled with words. The spirit inside of my belly oppresses me. The spirit is inside his what? Belly. Behold, my belly is like unopened wine, like new flagons about to split. Somebody give me Mark 2 and 22. Remember how he closed? What we just, the last chapter of Job. Mark 22. Go ahead, brother.
Mark 2 and 22. No one puts new wine into old wineskin, unless the new wine bursts the wineskin, and the wine spills, and the wineskins will be ruined. The new wine must be put into new wineskins.
So new wine got to be put into what? New wineskins, because what'll happen? So if new wine can't go in the old bag, it's going to bust open. You don't believe with this young brother, who when we started off Job 32, what did he say? He said, he was fired up. He heard him talking, he heard the response, he was fired up. Something from within. The young man said in verse 18, for I am filled with words, the spirit inside my belly oppresses me. Behold, my belly is like an unopened wine, like new flag is about to do what? Split. You know what? At some point, all of our body gonna what? Split. Because this body we got, it can't hold that's what within. The body we got, it cannot hold that which is within. That's why the outer part must fall off, so that the inner part can take over. The outer part of your body is Adam. The inner part of you is Yahshua. There's wine being cultivated and made, a good wine. But at some point, that wine got to be in a new body. Job, the young man, he said it. Yahshua taught it. Speak for itself. I'm saying on that. 2 Corinthians 4:16. Wrap this up. 4:16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So that new wine's got to have a new bag now. If there's something going on inside of you that God's doing and creating and cultivating and percolating, whatever inside of you, at some point, this thing has got to go. Because he want fruit. He a fruit bearer. He a gardener. He a planter. We got to bear fruit. So at some point, so that was a strong verse right there. Let our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. That inward man is renewed day by day. You sacrificing the flesh day by day. We're supposed to. That is. So we don't win a week or two. We ain't sacrificing nothing. That inward man suffer. You know, win a month or so. You ain't sacrificed your flesh. You've been doing what you want to do. Inward man suffer. You don't win a couple of years in your life. And you've been doing what you want to do because I'm grown now.
Okay, I'm grown.
I'm on my own 2 feet now, and the inward man suffers.
Yes, it does.
Don't worry about it. Why, I don't know why I'm there. It's good though. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. The voice said, cry, and he said, what shall I cry? All flesh is what? Grass. And all the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field. The grass withereth, but the flower fadeth, because the Spirit of the Lord bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of our Elohim shall stand forever. Ever. 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 Somebody give me Proverbs 20 and 27. Somebody else give me Romans 7 and 22. I need 2 more readers, 2 Corinthians 7 and 15. And Jeremiah 31 and 33. And Proverbs 20 and 27.
I got Jeremiah.
Romans 7 and 22. 2 Corinthians 7:15, Jeremiah 31, 33. Who got Proverbs? Go ahead, bro.
Proverbs 20:27. The ruach of a man is the lamp of Yahuwah.
The what?
The lamp of Yahuwah. Searching all the inward parts of the belly.
Of the what?
Of of the belly.
Ain't that where that young man rose up on Job and them said, it was bubbling from my belly. There's got to be some bubbling from your belly now. Because when some bubbling from your belly, don't stop it. We're trying to cover it up for. That's a good thing. Read that one more time.
The ruach of man is the lamp of Yahuwah, searching all the inward parts of the belly.
Who got Romans 7? Go ahead, brother.
For I delight in the law of Yah after the inward man.
After the who?
After the inward man.
So the Torah is for the inward man. We got 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 7:15.
Somebody else.
I think Nita gonna get it. She returned. At least that's what her body language said.
All right, 7 and 15,
Mhm.
2 Corinthians. And his affection for you is all the greater when he remembers that you were all obedient, receiving him with fear and trembling.
Receiving him with what?
Fear and trembling.
Jeremiah 31:33.
Jeremiah 31:33. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Hallelujah.
You're going to put it on their what?
Their hearts and their minds.
Hearts
Lord.
and your mind.
Yes.
It's on the inside.
And it's going to take it out your lips.
Job 38:36 reads, who hath put wisdom in the inward parts? Or who hath given understanding to the heart? That's who we turn into. Okay, it's him. The spirit and the word must be within us. Because the word, brother in the back, give me Luke 8 through 11. Luke 8 and 11. And then somebody else give me John 3, 5 through 8. Somebody give me Luke 8 through 11. So the spirit and the word must be within us, okay? So we got to have a seed. You got to have a seed. Okay, go ahead, brother. Read Luke.
And other fell on the good soil and grew up and yielded a crop 100-fold. Having said this, he cried, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. And his taught ones were asking him, saying, what does this parable mean? And he said, to you it has been given to know the secrets of the reign of Elohim.
To who?
To you it has been given to know the secrets of the reign of Elohim.
See, there's some things that Yahshua wants you to know now. But you got to have ears to hear. Go ahead.
But to the rest in parables, that seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not understand. And this is the parable. The seed is the word of Elohim.
The seed is what?
The word.
The what?
The word.
You know what the hardest part for a lot of people? Getting the word. But you know, when you come to the truth, you know what you want? Word.
All of it. More.
What you do.
More.
But the people who, I can't take it. Like, man, look, you know how much junk you done heard all week? You know how much perversity you done seen and heard all week? And then when it comes to the word, I just need like 15, 20, that's all I need.
Right.
The seed is what?
The word.
Hallelujah.
So you gotta have that seed in you.
Yes.
You gotta have that word. You gotta have that word. I'll tell you something else now. You gotta have the ruach. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Ruach, man, that thing blow now. And then look, as Brother Basil told me, he said the wind brought out. You can feel it. you can feel it, but you cannot grab it. You can feel it. You know it's there, but you cannot grab it. I love Basil. That's the big home. Brother, give me John 3. You got John 3, 5 through 8.
Yeshua answered, verily, verily,
I
say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit.
Born of what?
Water and of the Spirit.
And of the Spirit.
He cannot enter into the kingdom of Yah. That which is born of the flesh is flesh.
So that which is like an Adamite is an Adam. Go ahead.
And that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Marvel not that I said unto thee, you must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth.
The wind do what?
The wind bloweth where it listeth.
It just blows.
Hallelujah.
And thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. Hallelujah.
So, for us, we know we gotta have the seed of the word, and we gotta have the ruach. Okay. Thank y'all for your time. I didn't start my timer, my fault. But with that being said, Yah is good, and Yah gives us inspiration and gives us what we need. You know, we need His word.
Amen.
And if we balanced out the negative stuff we hear and see all week, and then we got to have a word to balance it out, we'd have to be in here as soon as it gets sundown, and we can't leave until the sun rises, until Shabbat is over. We got to be there the whole time, from sundown to sundown, because it's bad out there. And so I said, there just ain't no way around it. So we just give all praise to y'all for inspiration, of getting us what people need for our soul. The word is what we need. We need to hear it. We got to dig in it. We got to parallel this to us so that we can be able to discern. And it's not the outer, but we got to know it's the inner. Okay, and that we can't. We, the believers, we have to be about the things that pertain to the kingdom of Elohim, and that's what he taught. As his text says, he taught his taught ones. He was teaching his students. This about this kingdom that's coming. And the first kingdom, the kingdom of Elohim, is from within. It's from within. Okay. So, the Torah Yah, Bashim, all things in the name of Yahshua, website and email information, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got Wednesday night Bible study. Brother Aaron is going to be doing that. Okay. All praise the Most High for using him and his obedience, and amen. Because we need help now. We need help. Prayer line on Monday and Friday, 5:30 to 12. If you need the number, just get it from one of the ladies. At 5:08, that 5:30 is tough now. I'm telling you, folks be jogging on there. You see that praying,
Hey,
fell asleep.
Snooze.
Yeah, y'all was thinking this thing, you know.
Next.
So, but these are the things we got to think. One of in that Luke that we read, that you got to watch and what? Pray. Right, so that you can be able to stand like a man or a woman on your own 2 feet. Got to look him dead in his eyes. His eyes going to be on fire. Got to look him dead in his eyes. Give account for everything. So he coming to hug you. He going to come and squeeze a mess out of you. 1 to 2. Literally. Squeeze all that feces up out of you. That's the problem with our inside. We're full of feces. Book said dead man bones. Anyway, I'm done. Shalom, shalom, and
Shalom.
work on your behavior. Everybody, me too. Behavior.
Boy, kick the button.